Hi, my name is Brett. I'm the founder of Pupil Progress. Really appreciate your time to watch this. Before I go into some of the functionality of the platform, what I wanted to do is take a step back and explain how we fit into the education sector currently right now. The reason being is we often get confused sometimes with analytical tools, but we are a really new and innovative solution. Three key things that I, as a former teacher of 12 years, want to really try and communicate today, and how the software and the platform will help you as either a trust director, a teacher, a senior leader, a principal. One is improving the accuracy of the data that your teachers are using to inform their teaching and learning. Two is to really reduce the delay in the important key data that's required to inform those decisions. In improving the classroom impact. What I learned as a teacher and what we've learned from the schools that use Pupil Progress is there's a lot of tools that claim to track and monitor. There's lots of tools that claim to provide deep analysis that don't really impact in the classroom. I'm going to cut right to the chase on what is the main source of the problem. Teachers currently in the UK and globally are forced to use Excel and Google Sheets in order to try and ascertain the grades that students are working at. We've reached a point in our education system where qualifications from each exam board are actually really complex. They've got complex calculations, they've got complex requirements, and teachers are now forced to use Excel and Google Sheets to try and replicate or ascertain actual working out grades. Some of the issues with that: inaccuracy with unit weightings. Each qualification that has more than one unit will have a unit weighting. There's inaccuracies with scaling factors, where the grades or the marks get the raw marks are scaled in order to ensure that the final grade calculation is accurate. Inaccuracies when applying grade boundaries per subject area, and the biggest inaccuracy of them all is actually departments using varying methodologies across all subject areas, so there is no consistency across the whole entire school. Some teachers might be using a percentage conversion because they don't know how to use VLOOKUPs. Some departments might be using an average of the last 3 or 4 exam series, again highlighting the inconsistency, inaccuracy in the student's current position. Another major pain point with the use of spreadsheets is double data entry and the impact on teachers' workload. If every teacher is using Excel and Google Sheets in order to ascertain the student's current position, we know that they have to enter the data in the first place into those Excel spreadsheets. That's data entry number one. Number two, when the school and the vice principals need to understand the school position for a data point, for example, data point 1, all that data from those spreadsheets then has to be typed manually into the school's MIS. The work doesn't stop there. The data lead then has to organize that data, put it in the right format for it to be uploaded into one of the school's analytical tools. This is a process that we know as educators takes 2 to 3 weeks per data point, and then eats into 9 to 10 weeks throughout the academic year. An inordinate amount of workload and time spent on just understanding a student's current position. Believe it or not, this has actually been a problem that has existed for over 25 years. And currently, all we're doing is polishing current systems. There is no revolution at all. What we are doing is revolutionary. How have we solved this 25-year-old problem? What we've done is we've created exam board specific trackers that calculate the grade exactly as the exam board does. This ensures and guarantees the highest level of accuracy, and ensures that teachers have really clear information that will inform their classroom practice. An example here is English language for AQA. Each tracker is broken down in line with the exam board requirements exactly. You can see here that you've got each paper broken down per section, and most importantly, that question level analysis is broken down in line with all assessment objectives, with each question tagged against each very specific AO or topic area, depending on the subject and qualification being delivered. We have built some 4,000 trackers that are in line with each exam board subject area and qualification exactly. ensuring that the teacher has the highest level of information in order to have that classroom impact that I keep mentioning. An example here, Juliet Capulet, we can see that her minimum target grade of an 8 is slightly off target by 1 grade, where she's currently achieving a grade 7. Our platform then highlights to achieve that 8 that she needs 29 marks. But the key here, and why this system is so powerful, is Juliet gets to have access to all of that rich data at QLA that allows the teacher to understand where those marks are going to come from, especially when we've got access to all underperforming areas. The key is involving the students in the process. And one of the reasons why Pupil Progress is now used by over 700 schools is the ability to improve the students' motivation through that communication with the individual student report. This is automatically produced at the click of a button, no workload or configuration required. What it does is it improves the students' ownership. It improves the students' buy-in, and the combination of both increases the students' motivation. The increase in ownership comes from the fact that it's got their name on it, it's got data that's personalized to them, it is something that is in their folders, in their parents' hands, and is in line with all of the communication that they receive in parent communication evenings or consultations. But the biggest one is the increase in the buy-in position, how many marks they need. But most importantly, as discussed a moment ago, they are crystal clear on the areas that they need to work on in class, in home learning, or their intervention sessions. Again, that increase in buy-in and ownership creates a willingness to take action. That's all motivation is the willingness to take that next step. No grades are going to improve without students owning the problem that they're trying to solve. We're aware that our platform needs to align with other softwares being used, so we aren't serving to replace any MISs. We work with them. We're able to sync with all major MIS platforms. That means that no class list needs to be updated manually. It's live sync every 24 hours, including all student data. Most importantly, you can also align your data with any one of the analytical tools. One single point of entry, and upload that into any analytics tool. So if you are a school that really likes or enjoys the deep analytics reflectively, that data can be pulled from Pupil Progress into one of those analytical tools. If you are a school or trust looking to streamline, entering the data into Power BI. But if you are looking for much more simple dashboards, Pupil Progress have produced clear information which ensures that you don't have to use really complex analytics tools, and providing something a little bit more robust and user-friendly in the teacher's hands, giving you that one single point of truth, one single point of entry, and as discussed a moment ago, one single point of communication for your parents and students. This application can push reports out to students and to parents whenever the school wishes, and is not a live. We as educators understand that we need to quality assure the data that is going out to parents and to students, and we can even link resources to each individual report to ensure that teachers can set the right home learning for each individual group of students or student. If you are a trust director and you are someone who is looking to potentially use Pupil Progress for more than one school, you will have trust level access. This will allow you to access all schools under one single login, and you'll have the ability to see all headline figures, but most importantly, be able to then access the data for all subject areas within that particular group of schools or organization. You can also manage assessments at a trust level at QLA, so you are able to see how your trust or organization is performing in particular topic areas or qualifications. This is across all schools within your trust. so that you've got, again, one single point of entry and one single point of truth. We do build key stage 3 bespoke solutions, allowing you to be able to set specific assessments that can be pushed out across all schools within the trust, again, providing complete consistency. Now, what's key is each head of department is able to see the overall performance of each one of the qualifications within each subject area. An example here is you can see that I am able to have published A8 and P8 scores, including 9 to 5s and 9 to 4s, as well as all key groups of students, for example, prior attainment, gender, any pupil premium students, and my SEN as an example. If I look at this dashboard, I can identify a very clear group of students. That clear group of students are all my students that are one grade away across my classes. And it allows me to then say, well, what can I do to improve the students' outcomes for that particular group? That head of department can then go and look at the whole school overview. Now, what's key is I can use these dashboards to create very clear action. An example here is the head of department is able to identify that they've got 24% of students that are one grade away, but most specifically, what action am I going to take? That head of department is able to then open a whole year group overview. So you can see here that this teacher has got all data for a single paper from a single assessment point for all students across the whole cohort, is then able to filter out all students that are one grade away, creating a really, really focused group of students that are going to have a really big impact on not only those individuals, but also the department performance. What I can then do is start to ascertain exactly what work I need to do in order to move those students forward that one grade. Because I have the data next to their names, it allows us to then start creating the action plan. Very simply, we're able to tag the students within that group with a sorting functionality that are all underperforming in a high impact question. The example here is AO5, where the available marks is 24. This teacher is now tagging all students that are underperforming, getting 12 or less marks within AO4. And not only am I able to tag and grip hold of those students, I can then also filter that particular group of students at a later date so that I can revisit them at any point. So you can see here, those tagged students are filterable every time that I come to actually view the class data, as well as have conversations with each individual teacher. Again, this is a platform that's based on action, not just information. Really clear intervention groups, really clear actions for specific groups of students. All data is published in a central area under either the whole school overview or a key stage 4 grade analysis. What you're seeing here is an example of a vice principal being able to filter for all students across the whole school that are achieving maths, achieving English and not maths. For all those students, it's filtering all those students that are underachieving in English but are achieving in maths. Really key group of students. Now, not only are the vice principals and the principals able to see that information, it's also really seamlessly streamlined in communication with other teachers and heads of department. That same tag can be filtered on the English department trackers so that the English team are really aware of exactly which students are being targeted at a whole school level. Simply opening the tracker, filtering against the tag that was created, allows that head of English to see all the students that are being targeted that are achieving maths and not English. Again, then ensuring that all these lines of communication are equaling action in the classroom. For those that are interested in using our platform, I want to share that our customer support is second to none and is something that we've invested a lot of resource in. We know that it's a challenge to launch a new software. We pride ourselves in ensuring that you get the highest level of support and nurturing throughout the entire adoption and use of the software throughout your agreement. We have 30 in the team now at Pupil Progress. You are allocated a dedicated onboarding lead who is going to support your data manager in connecting all relevant softwares and ensuring that all student data is synced with the platform. You have a dedicated account lead after the school has been onboarded, and every member of staff has 24-hour support via the chat function that's available to all teachers or any member of staff that is within that school. You can schedule a call at any time for a teacher who might want to understand a little bit more deeply about their subject area or a particular qualification. They can schedule that call via the chat function at a time that is convenient to them. A teacher would look at their timetable, click on schedule a call, and schedule that for a time that allows them to engage with our Pupil Progress team. Things that I want to make sure that we share: we've got over 50 reviews at 4.9 out of 5 on EdTech Impact results. We are used by some of the largest trusts in the UK, and we've got some really great case study feedback from a number of those. In particular, at Nova, the Director of Trust Achievement, Andy Seymour, has cited Pupil Progress as being something that has transformed the way that teachers plan their provision, again, highlighting that impact on classroom performance. It's also a critical component of their trust raising attainment strategy, which is working as we work with them very closely and have had feedback from Andy. In addition, the Active Learning Trust, the CEO, Lindsay Holzer, has really enjoyed working with us and seen the impact very quickly with the schools that are using our platform, accelerating progress by up to 30%. Lots of validation from trusts that are currently using the platform and the schools that are using the platform within those trusts. If you are interested in learning more about the platform or to book a more in-depth demonstration, all you need to do is visit pupilprogress.com. You'll be able to access all information that you need via the homepage. And if you actually click on book a demonstration, you'll be able to see a simple form that gives us the ability to see what your needs are when you're on that call, and a member of the team will be able to take you through the platform in a more in-depth fashion. I really appreciate your time. See you soon.
I have to, I am data. I love data, and I love the granular issue of picking out all the things that actually how it can be used to improving learning. And I can see from the testimonials of actually 30% improvement in teaching and learning on the standard using your system. I can see that because it would help so many teachers and so many school leaders using this system. So well done. I love the journey you've been on. And essentially the main part is it is created by a teacher for teachers. And actually we can't underestimate that, how powerful that is, because you know what it's like to be a teacher and you know this system is built for